Welcome back to Tonight on Breaking. It's now 24 weeks to the 2023 general elections and our top politicians took a trip to London. Last week, presidential candidates Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar were photographed in the Kalunta Hotel in London, alongside other high-profile figures like Governor Nyesom Wike, Governor Seyi Makinde, and other notable party crashers like former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Obviously, it wasn't all fun and games. While sleeping in rooms that cost about 430,000 naira per night, the politicians had very important discussions. For example, we know that Wike met with Tinubu and he also met with Atiku and Peter Obi. Now, we don't know exactly what they talked about or what agreements they reached, why they ate burratas and wagyu strip of steak washed down with non-alcoholic drinks costing about 50,000 naira per plate. But you would think that after going all the way to London, they will come back with fresh news for us.
Consultation is going on. Nothing very concrete to tell you that this is what we have concluded. The consultation is going on.
Wait, he spent over 3 to 5 million naira on the first class round trip tickets to London, only to come back to tell us that you still need to continue consultations? You could have just gone to the Transcorp Hilton here in Abuja for 145,000 naira per night, ordered pounded yam, vegetable soup, and dry fish from Mama Put for like 5,600, and still have more than enough money left to go out bowling afterwards. At least we would have gotten much better pictures than this one. Over the weekend, the media finally got over the APC vice presidential candidate Kashim Shettima's outfit and started to pay attention to his comments at the recently concluded national conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. As part of the conference, Shettima and the presidential candidates Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and others were involved in a Q&A session. During the session, Shettima was asked what his government, which by the way is still the APC government, what they would do differently to tackle insecurity. Shettima argued that the total number of troops that we have in the country has not really changed since 1970. According to him, we had about 250,000 troops back then, and we have about 213,000 troops now. Shettima said that this should not be the case, that we should actually have about 960,000 troops when you adjust for our population growth and how much we should be spending on the military. Of course, you're wondering, what are we going to do with 960,000 troops?
I will lead the troops. My principal is an economy wizard who transformed Lagos into the third largest economy in Africa. He will concentrate on the economy. By God's grace, I will handle the security arm. Not only handle the security arm, I will lead the troops to battle across the length and breadth of this country.
Whoa. Hold up there, Major Not So General Shettima. Let's just take a few steps back before things get out of control here. First of all, military troops are supposed to be used to fight threats that are external to a country. I think someone needs to tell Shettima that you're not actually supposed to release troops on your own citizens. It's the absolute last resort. That's why we have internal security forces like police, border patrol agencies, NDLEA, DSS, and so many other security forces that are meant to help manage our internal security issues. Why can't we build up those forces and ensure they work well? Why can't we build up our justice system as a way to deal with security? Why do we have to go to the extreme step of nearly quadrupling our troops as the very first step? You might as well be asking for a military takeover. And then, if you're really paying attention, you notice that Shettima's plan is that he'll be the one leading those troops, or vice president in charge of the military. Last time we checked the constitution, and that was right before filming this episode, it says that the president shall be the head of state, the chief executive of the federation, and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the federation, which means only the president has the exclusive authority to command the country's armed forces. The only time that power goes to the vice president is if the office of the president becomes vacant by reason of death or resignation, impeachment, permanent incapacity, or the removal of the president from office. Unless Senator Shettima knows something that we don't know, I'm not sure how he plans to lead the troops into battle. And by the way, who are the people in the audience cheering?
I will lead the troops to battle across the length and breadth of this country.
The man is literally telling you that he will go to battle in every corner of this country and you applaud. He's not saying he's going to lead them to battle in Niger or Mali or Benin Republic. He said he will lead troops to battle across the length and breadth of this country. Who exactly is the enemy that he will be battling in his own country? Now, in case you're wondering if Shettima has the necessary experience to lead troops into battle, here's what he has to say.
I've been in the theater of conflict for 18 years. Even if it's groundnut that you are selling, if you sell groundnut for 18 years, ladies and gentlemen, you can be an expert on groundnut.
But guess what the groundnut seller also learned in those 18 years of selling groundnuts? That there's a lot of money to be made in selling groundnuts. That's all for tonight on Breaking. I'm John Iwodi. We include a link to where you can watch the Q&A session at the NBA conference where each candidate tried to answer some really important questions. Campaigning kicks off at the end of this month. Do your homework. Thank you and Happy New Month.